Hey, what's good, everybody? Sorry about the late upload on this one right here. This is our week 3 battle of the PBL, Pokemon Battle League. It's been a while since I've actually battled in the league. And you guys can hear, I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I am very sick right now. So I'm having a hard time commentating, but I need to commentate this. I didn't do it live because of this. I'm literally dying of coughing, so... I'm going to let you guys know now that it's going to be a little bit of this. You're going to notice a skip in our league battles. I did not have a week 2 match. My opponent unfortunately had to forfeit due to real life obligations. It happens in life, guys. I'm a little upset. I was looking forward to battling Zoe, and I hope I do get the chance to battle her at a later point in time. From this point on, I do believe Jar Jar is going to be taking over, and no, I'm not talking about the me so Annie. I'm not. I should have done that voice. Jar Jar, this is what you do to me if you're watching this, but he had to take over her spot, just because, like I said, real life obligation, guys. It happens. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go into our week 3 match. Our week 3 match was against Lucarian Forever. We battled him in the preseason. He was our week 2 of the preseason, and I think we picked up the 3-0. It was either a 3-0 or a 2-0. So we're going to go right ahead and jump on into that. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and notice is the team that he brings. He brings almost all the same exact Mons as the last time. I believe he didn't bring Hitmonlee last time. But I look at his team, and the only rocker that he has on his team is Ferrothorn, which I don't think can beat Zoidberg, so I can actually just go ahead and get my free Toxic if I want to, and get some damage off if I really need to. But Ferrothorn can't do anything to Gliscor. His other potential leads, he could lead Manectric, which would be a great lead for him because it's very fast. And he can lead Hitmonlee. But with that being said, Hitmonlee is very risky because if he's reckless, that's great. But at the same time, I'm a Pokemon with Protect, so he has to play around with that. Then if he's Fake Out Normal Gem, then if he uses that too early, he basically makes Hitmonlee's Speed Boost useless and makes his ability useless. So we're going to see how that plays out. I brought Latios, Life Orb Latios without Defog, Empoleon's my Defogger, Hitmonchan with Rapid Spin. Actually, I don't have Defog on Empoleon, I think, because I do have Rapid Spin on Hitmonchan, and I always prefer Rapid Spin over Defog. Gliscor, Toxic Orb, defensive, full defense. Mega Banette with special defensive investments. Ditto, Choice Scarfed, and then I have Empoleon, which is leftovers. It's my rocker. So I'm going to lead off with, as I said, Gliscor. He's going to lead off with Dr. Dre. I think this thing is either Specs or Scarfed. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to test the water, and I'm going to do what Zoidberg does best. He's going to whoop right on out of there with a Protect. I'm going to see him lock himself into Boom Burst. I know he's locked. Whenever you see a Exploud, they're usually Scarfed or Specs. Specs to do more damage, Scarf to make it so they actually have the speed to be able to get rid of threats. Because this isn't a fast Mon. So I'm going to see what type he is as he goes for another Boom Burst, and that does 31%, which is a lot, but then again, it's a stab Boom Burst from an Exploud, so you know. I'm expecting from the damage that he's actually Choice Specs. Just the damage is really hurt right there. I believe last battle he was Choice Scarfed. So now we're going to actually go ahead and we're going to go for our Stealth Rock here, as he does bring in a Tentacle, which I'm completely fine with. And I play really sloppily around this Tentacle right here. I'll go into Latios here, just that way I can threaten him with a Psy Shot, because nothing on his team really resists it. And he's going to go out into Ferrothorn, and I make a dumb play here, where I could have just actually... I could have just actually Hidden Power Fired. I brought it for a reason. But he goes for the T-Wave, which I'm just like, okay, great. And I go for the Toxic, predicting him to switch out into Manectric. just because residual damage is nice. I go for the Earthquake just to test out how much damage it does. He seeds me, and I'm just like, all right, this is going to be annoying. This is not what I want to play. I'm going to go for another Earthquake, see what his motto is going to be. He's going to Gyro Ball, and I'm just like, all right, great. That's completely fine. So I believe at this point in time, I was just like, screw it. I'm going to go out and Hitmonlee right here. I'm going to actually just go ahead and Rapid Spin, because I do know that Gyro Ball is going to do a hell of a lot to me. And I do know that it will kill me this next turn. So I just go for the Rapid Spin right here, just that way. Oh, no, I go for a Drain Punch, seeing if he stays in. He Liquid Oozes me, which is disgusting. I got Tentacruel Ooze all over me. And I'm going to just go ahead and Rapid Spin here, because I felt like he was going to Toxic Spike on this play. So I get rid of all these hazards that are sitting up on my side of the field, and my Hitmonchan does go down. That means his hazards are up to stay if he starts setting them up now. I'm going to go out into my Latios, and I'm just going to click Psyshock. It's a crit. Doesn't really matter, though, because he's been in range of Hidden Power Fire. I've been predicting him to switch way too much at this point, and this kind of goes into that point. Well, I feel like I was playing very poorly around him. It's weird. There's different types of players, and there's players that will stay in and all sorts of crazy stuff, and Lucarios is just staying in on things I'm not predicting. So I'm over predicting at this point, and it's really costing me damage on my poke. So I've got to, at this point in the game, I actually kind of take my hands and just slap my cheeks, and I'm just like, yo, snap into it. Like it's a Slim Jim, just snap in. So I'm going to come on out, send out my Latios, and I'm going to go ahead and switch out right here into Gliscor, because that's the safest play, because it's going to be a fake out. I know I can eat it up. I know I can get my heal. What the worst he can do is, what, knock me off? I don't believe Hitmonlee would be carrying Ice Punch or something like that. It kicks, man. It kicks. It doesn't punch. That'd be against its code. So he's going to go out into Davy Jones here, and I'm just like, alright, is he packing the Ice Beam? Let's find out. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out, and he goes for a Toxic Spikes. And I'm just like, man, will you stop with the Toxic Spikes? I'm tired of this. And, I'm just like, it's completely fine if this is what he wants to do. I was predicting for him to switch there. I was just like, alright, Flash Cannon. And as he's going to go for Scald here, he's got Matt's Toxic Spikes. There's nothing else he wants to do. I'm surprised he actually hasn't Rapid Spin at this point, because that would be free removal of Stealth Rocks, which is pretty big on his team. And I go for the Psyshock right here. That does knock him out, and I'm not trying to over-predict or anything. I have Latios, and this thing comes out again, and I'm just like, you know what, you're going to fake out or knock off, one of the two. So I decided to go into my pockets, because if fake outs, nothing's going to happen. I do predict the fake out. It seems like his go-to play. I'm going to Mega Evolve and just go ahead and Will-O-Wisp this thing. As he does get a knockoff, my ability Prankster didn't kick in yet, but I did know I could tank it because I am a defensive variant. So that's completely fine for me, as I'm just going to switch back out into Gliscor. He's just going to go for another knockoff. He knocks off my Toxicor, but that doesn't hurt me at all. I want to say Mega Banette, because Mega Banette is my check to anything that he does. So if he gets to a point where he somehow gets into the lead and he pulls ahead of me, Mega Banette checks that. I can just go in, debond, and something dies. So he's going to withdraw Hitmonlee and go back out into his Edsploud, which I'm completely fine with as I get a Toxic. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I am sick. I'm going to go for Protect, see what he wants to go for. He goes for a Flamethrower, and I'm just like, yo, that's rude. That's rude as hell. So I'm just like, you know what? I can stay in on this. He's locked himself into Flamethrower. And that's completely fine with me, because I know I can eat up Flamethrower. I could probably go out into my Empoleon and do the same thing. He goes out into Manectric here. If I Earthquaked again here, this thing probably would have died. But instead I go for the safer play, which is to protecting him to continue Flamethrowing me. I go out into Britannia here, and he actually makes a good play. Well, no, he Hidden Powers here. And then afterwards, I do believe he Volt Switches, which is the best play, to be honest, in this situation. As I believe I am just going to go ahead and go for a Scald, I believe, right here. No, I go for a Toxic. Predicting for him to just switch out into Dragonite, just because I believe at this point in time I haven't shown my whole entire moveset, so he might have been predicting me still to have Ice Beam. He goes for another Intimidate here, as I'm actually going to switch out as well, and going back into my Zorberg, and I just want to see what this man is going to do. So I'm going to Protect again. This also gets my HP up, which is very important. One thing about protecting when you're playing with a Gliscor, your Toxic Heal helps. And if you're protecting and you're getting HP back, you're still doing good. You're scouting and all that other stuff. Sorry again, guys. With that being said, I'm almost at full now because I went ahead and protected and got some HP back. I'm going to go back into Empoleon as he HP ices again. That is his best play. And right now, I'm just like, yo, alright. He hidden powers ices again. I don't know if that was a misclick or if what's going on there, because I get a Scald off, and that's going to hurt his Mega Manectric a lot. He's going to Volt Switch right here. He's going to switch out into anything he really wants to, which he decides Dragonite is his play. Big thing here. So this is the biggest part of the match. This happened in the last match. This is a complete repeat in terms of I send out my Ditto to transfer him into his Dragonite. Now, he loses his multi-scale because of Rots, which is why Rots was so important for me to get up this game. So with him having multi-scale broken, I know I can KO him. His moveset was Roost, Agility, Dragon Claw, and Earthquake. I was just looking at it. I'm Choice Scarf. I can Dragon Claw and kill something. I'm pretty sure that he is Weakness Policy. Last time he brought Weakness Policy, so I know I can one-shot this thing and not have to worry about anything. So I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw, because anything honestly dies to Dragon Claw on his team. His whole entire team dies to it. So I'm just going to Dragon Claw out. And I'm going to see what he goes into now as he goes out into his Mega Manectric. And he gets the Intimidate off, and I don't want to risk any kind of risky plays. So I'm actually going to go into my Latios and go ahead and sack that. Just because that Mon might outspeed it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back. And this is deja vu for this man, because I go ahead and I switch out. I get the Imposter on his Mega Manectric. And I just win from here, because now I can safely lock myself into Thunderbolt and kill every single thing on his team. So he's actually going to make a bad play here and go ahead and switch out into Dragonite. But then again, Dragonite wouldn't have been able to do anything because this Mon does carry HP Ice. To be fair. But, I mean, Thunderbolt, he could have waited and Earthquaked and probably got a kill. Or I could have switched out into Gliscor there, honestly, because he was Agility. So I know Gliscor can take that. And I would have just Toxic stalled him. But I get to just go ahead and lock myself in the Thunderbolt, because I know it kills every single Mon on his team. It two-shots the Dragonite, and he's going to go back out into his Mega Manectric, and he's not going to eat this up. And that's game. This was another example of Ditto really just putting in the finest. Ditto did a lot of good things for me in this game. And honestly, Ditto just checks his team. Because Mega Manectric and Dragonite have nothing they can do against Ditto, really. I mean, even if they pack a fighting type move or anything like that, they really have nothing that they can do to Ditto. So bringing Ditto was essential. I have Mega Banette to check all of his high speed power-up Mons. Dragonite and Mega Manectric are two Mons that are also completely countered by Mega Banette just because it has Prankster and I can shut down a threat. The rest of his team, I feel like I could have came out a lot stronger in this match. I did do a lot of over predictions, so unfortunately there is that. But I feel like I did really well in this battle. Gliscor put in the finest of work. Gliscor honestly does a lot of work against his team as well. And Empoleon and Hitmonchan were kind of just there. Hitmonchan checked the Edsprout in its own way just because it is a fighting type with Mach Punch. And it was Assault Vested. So I definitely could have just killed the Edsprout and not had to worry about a thing. I could have Drain Punched and all that other stuff, especially since it was, if it was at specs like I suspected it to be, I believe I could have outsped it and Drain Punched and killed it. So there's that. Latios, I could have played a whole lot better. I misplayed him super hard, especially since I brought offensive Latios. But yeah, it was a good battle. GG to Lucarian forever. This brings the Carolina Castforms to an official 3-0 record in the PBL. I believe this puts us at the top of our division. I'm not 100% sure on that one, so don't quote me. But yeah, we're sitting pretty. We're sitting pretty. I'm enjoying these matches. My next opponent is Turkey Sub and I believe it's the Chicago Cub Shoes. I believe. I believe he got to the semifinals of the first season. of the PBL, so I'm definitely looking forward to going against him. And it should be a very fun match because he does have a threatening team in his own. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to cure my bronchitis, be sure to subscribe today and join YouTube's greatest travesty. We're almost at 100 subs, so I'm really excited for that. And yet again, thank you guys for watching and dealing with my sick self. Have a great day and peace. I'm out.